Be yourself, dude. It's ridiculous. All right, so Fly still playing the Sword Staff build on Revenant. Blackjack playing the Firebrand support and pairing to Posey, who is playing Deadshot with... fuck, I can't remember his rune. Rune of Traveler. Soul Beast on Orlando, again, running the standard Axe or Warhorn. And then Syndra is playing, again... oh, he's playing DB Thief this time. So he does have Blinding Powder. He does have Dagger Storm as well. So he's not opted for Basilisk Venom this time. So this is with Rune of Eagle and Marauder's Amulet. Deadly Arts, Trickery, and Daredevil. On blue team, you have Nerf Ranger, who is obviously playing Soul Beast. This is with Plasma currently being consumed on Sword, Warhorn, Axe. Lugo playing the Chronomancer build that we saw previously with Demolishers on Chaos. Casual War playing the Spellbreaker build. Trammel War, yep. God Shiro is playing Rifle Deadeye. This is a rotational +1. And then Garians is on Sword Staff Rev. So they have the double rotational damage dealers with the triple effective Bruise the Duelist combo. Once again, Red Team do have the preferential meta composition, I would say. They will actually be able to spread themselves more so over the potential 5 nodes. In future. So you've got Stillness that's going to be coming up. You've got Tranquility that's going to be coming up. Plus the Altar, the Temple, and the Gate. So at the moment, I'm going to say that Red Team have this in the bag, considering that the Blue Team are based on node dominance, or potentially being the dominant players of the nodes with the 2 rotational players. They don't have the node coverage at this point. But that might actually change in a moment. So, Casual War now in a 1v1 against Fly, about to get +1 by Syndra, and this warrior is not going to live very much longer. He was unable to pick up that node. Syndra just spamming 4 into the shield 5. Like, Pulmonary Impact doesn't go through that, though. Well, maybe it does if you have Bassi Venom, but it doesn't, Syn. He's getting some free damage with the 4-second evade frame. Drops the poison field on the Shobo 4 and then leaves. Or attempts to leave. Might actually change now with the plus of Darkness and Lugo. That's the Gravity Well. They're going to attempt to get the rest here on Casual. Fly utilizing Terrain. And he still gets hit by the Death's Judgment. Syndra forced to disengage now and probably going to head towards mid to get a +1 onto the Revenant. A quick 3v1 wouldn't be a bad thing. Wait, where the fuck is Sin? Ah, there we go. He is actually heading mid. But it's too late, they've already left, but the blue team are rotating in, so we do see that the warrior has now rotated back down towards mid after contesting the blue team far node. Sin just spamming Heartseekers to get himself into stealth, but he was revealed by the Magebane tether. I don't think he realized that. He's not going to waste his steal here, surely. Wow, he did. Okay, so he used the steal to catch up and secure that kill. Coming in for the +1 onto... Actually, this will be a 2v2. So we have the Soul Beast into the Deadeye and into the Chronomancer. Soul Beast very nearly dead. Syndra looking to peel for his Soul Beast. And blue team have actually picked up the far node once again. I do wonder if the blue team can actually contest this node, this altar node, whilst Stillness is up. They don't really have anybody that seems to be aware of this and actually pushing in towards it. Red team are probably going to get this for free. They have 2 players down, and Nerf Ranger obviously looking to look after his node. So this is now a double node tick for the red team. And actually, yeah, blue team are going to be picking up double node. Actually, they were about to have double node, but because the Soul Beast got +1 there at the end there by Posey's rotation with Fly, that just got the neutral. So we now see the the warrior utilizing Death from Above, I think is what it's called. I can't remember the trait exactly. Yeah, it's Death from Above on peak performance. If you land on a player, you just knock them back. It's pretty cool. That was a potential launch away from the node. That's the Chronomancer and the Spellbreaker versus the Soul Beast, the Firebrand, and the Scourge. There's no way that either of them actually provide enough pressure for this. They have to try and out-rotate the Scourge and the Firebrand. Now, you're probably not going to see Posey standing still that much in this game. He's got to keep his mobility about him. He's got to be, like, preemptively moving a lot of the time. Otherwise, they will just kite around him. They do actually... He does lose that node because he wasn't able to answer to the rotation. Nerf Ranger is now just probably going to push back towards his node. He got what he wanted. He can't really answer to the pressure of the Revenant and the Scourge simultaneously. He shouldn't really be hanging around here. He's going to die. I don't really know why he pushed back in. It seemed like he had the potential disengage up this route with Posey, you know, trying to cap the node. So Fly, it would have just been Fly that was chasing after him. It would have made more sense just for him to leave. Double node pick up there for the blue team. This may not last long considering their Soul Beast is down. I'd expect the red team are going to pick up their close node ASAP. However, they looked that they are actually forcing a team fight here. This is an off-node team fight. Syndra going straight for the decap, obviously utilizing the dash of Daredevil to get around the map very quickly. Shiryu going for that decap as well. And there's the Tone Bubble put down to save his Soul Beast. Shiryu actually in close pursuit here. He might be able to pick him up. He is completely far away from his team. This should be a pretty easy pickup, I would have thought. Tranquility and Stillness coming up in 40 seconds. And red team are about to get a triple cap. So, blue team opted for the huge team fight and actually lost the team fight, even being forced to disengage. So, I mean, they killed Fly, but they actually lost the map dominance or any map control whatsoever off the back of the team fight. So that's kind of how they ended up losing it. Blue team going for the pickup of the far node. Warrior once again looking to pick up the mid node and contest to the Firebrand. He won't provide enough damage into these two. Again, forced to leave. He's just trying to like get in there occasionally and try to get that final decap, but it's not paying off. So here we go. Stillness and Tranquility now in play. Shiryu is being answered to by the Spellbreaker. I would expect that a duelist of some sort will come to answer that. There's the Soul Beast. There's the Revenant. If they can take him out immediately, then they will. They'll possibly get this. Nerf Ranger actually giving up on that channel. I thought maybe he would have got that, but then there we go. They may get the Soul Beast down here. Blackjack is here to attempt to resustain. Does have Signet of Mercy as well. Watch the channel. He's preemptively casting it. No interrupt, and there's the pickup again. So reset of the team fight. Soul Beast going to disengage to ensure that he can resustain himself with Trollonguin. However, this is a lot of damage for them to answer to. This is a Soul Beast that's applying a lot of auto pressure as well as a Revenant that's doing a ton of unblockable damage. So blue team did, whilst that was happening, pick up the Stillness. However, they're not really on top of the other nodes. They need to get these decaps. But at the same time, the blue team may lose out their players down here defending Tranquility. So watch Blackjack. Blackjack currently going for the pickup, answered to by the Soul Beast autoing. There is a bubble over him, actually, which is preventing projectiles. Will he get him? He gets him at the last second after trying to deal with the Aegis. That was a nice play there by Blackjack. However, the Soul Beast is going to die for that overcommittal. Now you have the Warrior and the Deadeye trying to answer this. So once again, red team still managing to maintain their one node on the map, and they're keeping ahead. This game is pretty close. It's you know, they're almost parallel. Lugo trying to 1v1 Syndra. Syndra should not really be here. Here we go. Now you got the Duelist coming in. The Soul Beast is going to try to push away the Chrono. Sin may even push back in. It's a quick 2v1. There we go. He's in stealth. It's just dropped out. Shadow Step engagement does still have steal. So red team do actually pick up all three nodes as anticipated after we saw that the Soul Beast was hard pressured. Deadeye's gone down as well. So is the Warriors. There's 3 players down for the blue team and all 3 caps picked up for the reds. Blue team did manage to get 1 node back, but to be honest, it's not really going to be enough. You've got about 50 seconds until the next Stillness comes up, and I suspect the red team will probably get it and finish the game. If the game isn't already over by then. Do you know what parallel means, Falco? Because if you look at the timeline, they're almost parallel. Like, I mean, yes, okay, they're going apart, okay? They are slightly distancing apart, but it's almost parallel. I don't think you know what parallel means. It's okay. It's your second language. Yeah, this game's over. Blue team won't be coming back from this, especially considering that Shiryu left. I'm choosing to ignore you right now. There we go. There's a Stillness pickup. And that's the end of the game. Final done. Let me get the shizzle up. Okay, what date is it today? Is it the 19th? I think it is. Alright, let me get some fucking background music on this shit as well so it's not boring. Alright, Dummy Cutie is playing what looks like Carrion Amulet. Carrion Amulet with Runic Traveler on Staff Axe Torch, using Dueling Illusions and Mirage. So not opting to have the Chaos trait line, wants to be doing a little bit more damage by using the Illusions trait. This is technically a bruiser. Zizara is... Sorry, wait, what the fuck? I skipped one. Zizara is playing Revenant. This is a rotational +1. This is on Sword, Sword, Staff. FaZe Lee is playing the standard, what looks to be Axe, Sword, Warhorn duelist build for Soul Beast. Ihal is also playing the Soul Beast. Okay, he's playing exactly the same thing as FaZe Lee. And Tippy is on what looks like Sage Amulet with Staff Axe Torch. So yeah, there's the Axe Torch, Sage Amulet, Rune of Earth, and on Dueling Chaos. So he has the Chaos straight line, does have the secondary Chaos Storm, the dampening for the 20% reduced recharge on the staff skills, and of course Bountiful Disillusionment for staff. He does have Signet Midnight, which is one thing to note. Zintrex is playing, this looks like Demolishers, Tremor War. So Demolishers with Sword, Shield, and Greatsword. This is standard, yeah, normal. So Duelist does a lot of damage, has the Mage Bane Tether for the Might stack. Why Me 1-1 is Phaleth. He is playing Rifle, of course, Rifle Deadeye on Marauders with Rune of Scholar on Sword Dagger. So he obviously gets to do a lot of damage on the SD. You got a Core Guardian, rotational +1 using Sword Focus. I'm assuming it's Greatsword. Yeah, Greatsword on Valkyrie and Lynx. Revs is also playing Staff, Sword, Revenant for rotational +1. And then you have Luana, who is also on the Sage Amulet Staff build. So this is with Rune of the Nightmare, with Axe Torch, Chaos, Dueling, and Mirage. In this instance, you can actually see that Luana is not running the secondary Lesser Chaos, does have Master Manipulation for reflecting incoming projectiles, which is pretty fucking busted. So if we look at the compositions, the red team don't really seem to have that much damage, but they are able to cover a lot of nodes simultaneously. They do get the double duelist spread for at least 2 nodes. They have the mirages that can technically cover themselves on a singular node as well. So they kind of have like +1 additional coverage. And then they have the Revenant for the +1 coming into those nodes to quickly assassinate targets. So Quack K is going to die here very, very quickly if Zizara actually gets something off. That's a good drop there by the Core Guardian, using the renewed focus to go into invulnerability, and there's the pick off with the snipe out. Now, obviously, they're going to follow up onto the Rifle Thief there and trying to get some actual momentum from this. Phaleth did not manage to get stealth off and has gone down as a result, and eats the shackling wave there from the Revenant. So my expectation would be that blue team would possibly win this because they do have a rotation comp. And they kind of have like a fair coverage as well. They've got the Spellbreaker on one node. They've got Luana who's able to cover another. If this game will go to red if Zizara can make enough of an impact as a rotational +1. But it all depends on whether Quack, Revs, and Phaleth can actually make something happen. Again, I think this is actually a pug team. This isn't actually a high-level team across the board. They do have the Revenant for the +1, the Core Guard +1, the Deadeye +1, Luana, Bruiser, Mirage, and then obviously Zintrex is the Duelist on the Strength Discipline Warrior. So at the moment, red team do have double node coverage. That is simply because the blue team lost 2 players simultaneously. They're about to lose Revs, which is again going to put them in a 4v5 scenario. FaZe Lee is actually looking to get pressured by Phaleth there, but is able to use line of sight to negate that engagement. I'm surprised how much red team are actually putting into the defense of this node. So I think, actually, they have 3 players here. They've actually managed to get Quack K down, and Phaleth will probably follow. Wait, is that 4 play? They have 4 players here. They have 4 players here, and the blue team don't have double node coverage. That's really weird. Phaleth is actually answering to this. This was a 2v4. Quack K obviously on respawn. If Phaleth can get out and not waste any fucking, any more of their time, that'd be great. There we go. There's the 2-node switch. They actually over-invested 4 forward players into that node. They are going for the Beast, obviously, to try and make their lead a little bit higher. But that's only going to catch them up. So that's kind of I would say that's a bad idea for Zizara. As a result, because there was no numbers trade-off, Ihal actually went down. And surprisingly enough, they've just left the body there. He's going to rotate straight there out of base, I would assume. Blue team looking to have a 4v3 engagement here. Domicuti has gone down, already being bled out. Quack K going to assure that does follow as a death. And then Sir Tippy is also down. That's double bleed. Zizara should follow next. That's a 3v1 engagement there, potential. And then there's another Soul Beast here. This is silly for the red team to do. They don't want to be fighting off node. They want to be bringing their attention to the nodes. Blue team are capping that simultaneously. Zizara's going to go down, didn't get the infused light off, and the Soul Beast is going to follow as well. Again, another 3v1. There's no amount of sustain that IHAL can actually do to prevent his own death here. Gets the Staff 5 to knock him out through the Axe 5. He's got unblockable damage. Does have Feather Drop from the pig, so actually there's no point in using that either. And our Revs is leaving because he knows it's unblockable and he can't win it. So still one node covered by the blue team. That's about to be 2. Mine picked up. And there is a neutral point over here for... This is actually this is Soul Beast into Core Guardian, Greystone Core Guardian. It's not in the favor of Quack, but Quack is doing his best to actually keep this neutral. I would say that actually he's wasting more time here by trying to engage this, because now it belongs to the Soul Beast. There's absolutely no point in him staying. Luana coming in for the potential +1 to create the 2v2 here. That's double Soul Beast in the same place. Why would you put double Soul Beast in the same place? Maybe to secure a single node, I don't know. Tippy answering to Phaleth over here, but he does have Zintrex and Revs here as well. He will not sustain the 1v3. He's going to die out straight away. Gets revealed by the Revenant. Doesn't get the invisibility from the Signet Midnight. Yo, Kentola, dude, thank you for the 3 months.
Happy 3-month anniversary.
Thank you very much, PogChamp. You're amazing. Thank you. So yeah, that was kind of weird that they put both Soul Beasts in the same place. I can only assume it's because they want to maintain that ownership of the node and keep themselves in the game. If it was just one, they would have died to the numbers disadvantage immediately. That's obviously Mesmer and Core Guardian into the single Soul Beast. You can see IHAL is already pressured. He's trying to kite. But this, I think eventually this does actually still go into the Core Guardian and Mesmer favor because they can't really sustain each other. But there should be a lot of conditions going on to the Soul Beast simultaneously, as well as good spike damage. But then again, they're going to have to trade that off towards the other Soul Beast. If the blue team can keep both Soul Beasts in one location, that actually kind of is good for the blue team, because they're gonna kind of like reduce the actual map coverage of the red team overall. IHAL does look to be going down, but he's actually not dying out of this. That's a +1 from Phaleth. They do get the res onto the Core Guardian as well, which is huge. And there we go. So IHAL looks to be dropping as well. Quack K is down as well. They need to go for the res. Go for the stomp, baby. Go for the stomp. Too late. Wait, not even like, dude, he's away with the fairies right now. Dead as well. And there we go. That's exactly what they wanted. That's a 4-man usage of momentum. So they've just come in. They've shot out both of the Soul Beast there. Now you've got the one Mirage taking the node, and the rest of them are now pushing in towards mid. They did hand 2 nodes over to the red team. They're going to quickly take that back just by winning the team fights here. So if they can fight them off node, get a couple of people bleeding out, Revenant is obviously the target. They're going to go for the stun here. That's a huge pick-off now potential for... if Zintrex lands a stun as well, that's great. Okay, they got him. I think that was final thrust coming out of Zintrex there, the Sword 3. It was the Sword 3. It did completely decimate him, and Tippy is trying to get him in stealth right now. Use the Signet Midnight. Gets interrupted by the full counter. There's the Bull's Rush, or whatever the fuck it's called. Bull's Charge, even, to get it close, and they still manage to assassinate Tippy. So that's 2 players dead off node, and now they can force that 4v1 or 4v2 now. In the mid. Nobody is on the blue team close node, so nobody from red team has actually pushed far. They've only got their only node. So again, this is exactly what you want to do with this comp. They have the triple rotational +1s. They have the Deadeye, they have the Core Guardian, they have the Revenant. As long as they can go for those team fights and keep people bled out, keep people like on staggered respawns, they will dominate the map. If the red team actually had like good damage to answer to what the blue team are doing, besides just the Mirages and the autos from the Soul Beast, then they would kind of be able to answer to this, but it seems to me that neither of the Soul Beasts are actually getting lucky with plasma drops. I keep seeing feathers everywhere. I don't think they're even getting boon uptime. Revs is still alive. He's got 8... Dude, he shouldn't have swapped there. He had Enchanting Daggers coming back up. I guess he needed the upkeep. 1v1 still taking place on far node. That's Tippy into Luana. That's Mirage. Tippy, on the other hand, does not have the Chaos... Wait, which one doesn't have the Chaos Line? Domicuti doesn't have the Chaos Line. Sage Amulet, Rune of Earth into Sage Amulet, Rune of Nightmare, but basically exactly the same build. They're running the same traits? No, so Tippy is actually running the Lesser Chaos Storm instead of the Master of Manipulation. So if the mirror is rejecting, reflecting incoming projectiles for Luana, does that mean that the shatters are also being rejected or reflected rather? I actually wonder how that works together. I am not sure how that works. Anyway, that's the blue team far node being picked up by Luana. That's the +1 there from Phaleth. So there's a 2v1. They'll keep Cesaro away from the node, but they'll cap that. So there's double node pickup. And the game is borderline over. It's going to be over in about 10 seconds. Only project, yeah, but I can't remember if shatters actually count as projectiles, because Axe 5 on Soul Beast does deflect. I swear it deflects shatters. I swear I've seen that. Maybe I'm just like imagining it. I don't play anything that actually like blocks projectiles anyway, besides Photon Wall, and that blocks everything anyway. So I've never done anything that would confirm or deny my presumption. So there's no way that I would know, unless I actually read the tooltips, probably, which is, I would say, my downfall. All right, so we got Maverick into Denshi. That's gonna be a pretty one-sided game. Zintrax into Saru. That might also be gay. Also be good. Did I just say gay? Holy shit. All right, I'll check Snap, dude. Thank you very much, by the way, for that sub. I feel like I kind of like danced over it. I do appreciate it, by the way, Kentover. Much, much appreciated. All of the subs lately, you guys are keeping me afloat, dude. You guys are keeping me going. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're making me sign out my personal one, bruh. Let's just see this matchup anyway. I don't want to call something gay because it always has like a negative connotation. I'm not somebody that uses that word in a negative way, so it was just a Freudian slip. Wasn't alive for 2 weeks, but this is my first AT I play so bad. Nah, you're doing alright, dude. This will be a good game, I think. I need a pee, though. I'm going to go look at Seb's snap while I'm peeing. Multitasking, I'll be right back.
Penis.
Indeed. The biggest of penises. Alright. Let's fucking go. What am I seeing? Flandry on Soul Beast. I think Flandry got kind of tilted because they lost the one of the daily ATs into double rev because the Mirage just couldn't really contest it. So I think they wanted to have a different duelist. Stop fucking spamming penis, you bitches. Right. You've got Nevea, who is playing a Berserker stance on Hammer. So they are running Strength Discipline. This is kind of like a Trauma build, but in terms of like trait choices, but they do have Greatsword and Hammer, so that's a lot of damage, but not as much sustainability. Going to be really, really effective at locking players down and just bursting them out, I think. 1 week Chris, he is on Sage Amulet with Staff Axe Torch, so that's with Rune of Adventure, Chaos Straight Line, also using Master Manipulation, not the lesser Chaos Storm. Stop fucking saying penis, man. We got Falasia, who is playing Holosmith on Static Disc with Kinetic Battery. Can't see the utilities right now, so I can't really tell exactly what he's running, but he does have a Sigil of Intelligence. Using Protection Injection as well. So could be running something defensive. Or maybe just was worried about being locked down. No, this is actually with Prime Light Beam. So this looks like Elixir Hollow. I don't like Static Discharge with Elixir Tosses. I feel like this is like a really, really old meta build. You don't gain the actual benefit of Static Discharge with these anymore. I don't know why. Sambaway is playing Herald, so this is obviously Sword Staff. Exactly the same Root of Strength on Marauders. And then finally you have the last Mirage, who is on Wizard with Rune Adventure. It does have Axe Torch and Scepter Pistol. So I'm going to turn them... Dude, I'm turning them off. For the time being, they're going off, man. You guys, you're throwing me. Fuck you. Right. So, yeah, so to cover over what the red team actually have, they do have the Duelist on the Spellbreaker. They have the Bruiser on the Mirage. They got the Duelist on Falasia on the Holosmith. They have a rotational +1 on Sambaway, and they also have like this kind of counts as a Bruiser, but it can be a rotational +1 because of how much damage the Scepter actually does. It's disgusting. So they have double Bruiser, they have double Duelist, and then one rotational +1. Reliable Hospital is playing Firebrand support with Signet Mercy. Skiki is rotational +1 on the Revenant. Synod is playing Scourge, that's impairing to that Firebrand, so he's on Deadshot with Runa Balthazar. He's got Scepter Torch and Staff on Kaiser Sorry of course. Flandry playing the Soul Beast, so that's standard Axe Sword Warhorn as a duelist for the 1vx. And then finally you have Primal Downstate, Primal, who is playing Sword Dagger Core. So this is a rotational +1. It's very high utility with the steel, but doesn't really have that much damage. So obviously you want to pair the Thief with Sakiki, with the Revenant, as often as possible to get the highest burst damage potential. So in terms of comp on comp, I think the blue team actually have the better comp overall. They get the double node spread by having Flandry on one. They have the Scourge and the Firebrand holding another. And then they have the rotational team of Sakiki and Primal here. So the Revenant and the Thief. I definitely think that works better than what the red team actually have. The red team just don't really seem to have that much team fight damage. If they had a Firebrand and Scourge, I'd say that they're relatively equal, but you see that they're getting kind of farmed by this rotational strength of both Sakiki and Primal. Even if they don't work together, right? Even if both of them spread out and go to different nodes, they still achieve a hell of a lot. Because, imagine that, say, Nevaeh's on one node and they can, in a 1v1 against Flandry, then the Thief can come in and just kind of pick off Nevaeh. And then if Reliable Hospital, the Firebrand, and the Scourge Synod are on another node, then you could expect that Sakiki might come in and assassinate a Firebrand or a Mirage or whatever the fuck is contesting them on whatever node that they're on. So it's a huge benefit to have double rotation. And if you put them together in like a team fight, they can assassinate targets like tenfold. Even so, if you've got like fucking a Thief with you, especially, they can use their steel to interrupt things like Signet of Mercy, right? So Signet of Mercy is a game-changing skill, or a team fight changing skill. It well and truly fucks you up if you get interrupted, because you just cannot not have that go off. Because if your Scourge goes down in a team fight and it's a mirror comp, the first one to lose their Scourge, the first one to lose their Firebrand, always loses. Like, as long as you can confirm that that's a kill, that's it. So having that Thief is just huge. You steal the stab. So, it's not just a case of having an interrupt. It's a case of having that steal. So always having a Thief is, beneficial in my opinion, just based on utility. Having the Revenant is amazing because it does such high burst damage that's unblockable when using things like phase traversal. There's incredible damage on the Shackling Wave and Death Strike. So just having that as well, in pairing with the +1, is fantastic. You can't really go wrong with a Firebrand and a Scourge. Firebrand is incredible sustainability, plus obviously has the Signet Res for reset, for teamfight reset, and the Scourge for just incredible fucking teamfight damage, corruption, great node control. And then you can't really go wrong with Soul Beast, because Soul Beast is still busted. It's not going to be changed before the monthly AT, and it just makes sense. It just makes sense to run it. So I think that comp it's brilliant. It's what I actually already said was the best comp for you to run if you were going to do an AT, based on just the meta. However, I have seen this comp, but replacing Soul Beast with Mirage, lose into a double Revenant comp. So I'd be interested to see how that actually plays out. They just could not deal with the strong damage coming from the Rev. So, red team, they have a Firebrand support. Blackjack is using Signet Mercy this time. This is different to the kit that he was using before. I think he was playing a very offensive build before. So that's Signet Mercy, Firebrand paired with Posey. So Posey on Scourge, probably using Wanderers or something? Deadshot still. Okay, has a lot less health. Using Rune of the Traveler. No Rune of Adventure this time. Scepter, Torch, and Staff, so they have their team fight covered with those two players. They have the rotational +1 on average Rev, who is Celestial. That's Fly, actually. Straight away dead. Holy shit. Posey is just defending the doorway as Blackjack gets that Rev. that res rather. And then you have Boyce, who obviously is playing the Axe Axel Warhorn Duelist. Flandry is also playing that, by the way. Most people aren't aware that Flandry has changed from Mirage to Soul Beast. Seems to be the better duelist, obviously, and can create stalemates, especially in this matchup. But I think Boyce has more experience, and therefore I'm not expecting Flandry to win this matchup in this 1v1 mirror. And then you have Syndrina, excuse me, who is playing his Daredevil Sword Dagger build. So this is Marauders, Rune of the Eagle, Sword Dagger, Shortbow with Exploitation Compounding and Cleansing and Energy. And these are his trait lines. So he's using Banner's defense. He's got Shadow Step, so double Stun Break, Dagger Storm, and Signet of Agility. The reason he's running this is because Swinner's Equilibrium is busted. It's broken at the moment. It's not working properly. And that therefore means that he's changed the build up to try and get more out of it. Reliable Hostile obviously is playing Firebrand support. This is impairing to Naru, who is playing Scourge here. So this is 24-8-1-2. This is probably Deadshot again with, yeah, Rune of Nightmare. Flandry, again, as I stated previously, Axe Axel Warhorn. Skiki on the rotational +1 Rev with the Sword Staff build. He's just picked up Plasma. I think he just stole that from Boyce. That would definitely be a kill on Boyce if he gets in close to him. And then finally you have Primal Downstate, aka Maverick, who is playing Sword Dagger Thief Core. And this is the build that Syndrina changed away from. So again, it's this trait right here, which is the one that's broken. It does not work every 10 seconds. It's every 30 seconds. It's broken. It doesn't work properly. So at the moment, we can see that the blue team are slightly ahead of the Reds. They are the only team at the moment ticking with a node. Flandry has won into Boyce with obviously the rotational +1s from both Sakiki and Primal Downstate. Chunzu has just gone down, which does mean that the mid node will be handed over to the red team because they've just won that team fight. And now it's about creating momentum for the red team. So you can see that Syndrina and Fly are now pushing into Nubu to try and pressure him away. However, Chunzu is back into the fray and able to resustain Naru. I'm surprised they didn't turn their attention towards their close node. That said, Boyce is here. Maverick will not be able to answer that and is forced to disengage towards this team fight that's taking place in the middle now. That's a 4v2 taking place. That's pretty fucking intense. Flandry is here as well to possibly create even more pressure. That Signet of Mercy that's just gone off there from Chunzu that has resustained Naru. And Skyhammer is now in play. It'd be interesting to see if anybody actually chooses to go in there. At the moment, I think the team fight is very, very integral towards how this game plays out. So everybody is ignoring that external influence. They want to try and at least get somebody down, get somebody off the map first. This is very important as well. Posey goes down. They do get the res there. Kiki has died, which means the red team can sacrifice one player to go and answer to that. So now you can see Flandry and Boyce now answering to the external with both mirrors trying to keep things neutral there. And the rotation there from Maverick to immediately get the decap onto C-Node. So nobody is ticking. This is what I expect this game to look like. This is such a close game in terms of just skill matchup. This is probably going to be better than the final, by the way. Okay? So, once again, neutral nodes all across the map. Everybody is playing mid. You can see the +1s coming in from both Syndrina and from Primal Downstate here. So Flandry getting hard pressured. And they're looking to... So Syndrina's gone back through, actually, to chase down Flandry. Flandry is actually getting away. That's absolutely fine, but it does mean that Boyce will probably win this node because obviously Primal Downstate won't be able to answer to Boyce. So he will be forced to get off node multiple times or just leave the arena entirely. And there we go. He's spamming autos at him. He was going to die to one more auto and he got out just in time. Holy fuck. So now he's pushed towards Flandry for resustain. So yeah, that means Skyhammer's going to be handed over to red team, and that means any reset on anything that the blue team own. Nubu, aka Naru, has gone down in the mid. Chunzu is bleeding out above, so that's actually very, very good for the red team. Primal Downstate is getting hard pressured. Syndrina picks him off, and they're going to leave him to bleed out. This is a double node pickup, at least, for the red team, because Flandry's now going to eat pressure from Syndrina. That's a 2v1. Forced off the node. I'm assuming Boyce will stand on that while Syndrina pressures, or Flandry will be forced to disengage. So eventually this node will hand over. They need to draw their attention back towards B ASAP, I think, because obviously Chunzu and Maverick will be coming out momentarily. However, if they do get this node decapped, that's even more integral to their lead. They do get it, and now they probably do well to disengage because they're going to be 4v3'd. So Flandry's still getting hard pressured. Node handed over to Boyce. This now means this mirror matchup, which is a stalemate, will go on for a long time. However, Boyce will have that node in his favor. So Flandry knows that. Flandry doesn't want to waste any time, so is rotating back mid to create a numbers advantage in mid, or at least to contest Syndruna. Sin knows he can't contest that, so he's actually rotating straight far to create a numbers neutral here. They get the fucking interrupt onto Chunzu. That was the corrupt there from the Scourge. That was really, really good. And they got the fear. Huge. Very, very nice. That was really good play there by the Scourge. They carried that. Wait, fuck. Wait, Naru actually did get up. I guess they... Wait, fuck. I had a fucking moment there. I actually didn't realize that it was fucking average Rev and Blackjack that went down. I could have sworn that they just secured the kill on Nubu, but they didn't. So actually, this is actually really good for the blue team. Blue team will be coming back from this. They get at least 2 nodes from this because they're going to get the decap on far. They may even go for the full cap, depending, because I think Blackjack is going to neutral out or stalemate the mid, even with Flandry and Skiki here. So they can cap their close node. Syndruna is actually contesting a 1v2 here? The longer that happens, the worse it is for the blue team. What are they doing? Sin getting fucking low, and he's dead. It's fucking shitloads of torment. Teleports himself onto the node to prevent the cap, and now forces Naru to kill him immediately. There is the Skyhammer as well, which will instantaneously finish Syndruna off. And that's neutraled out all nodes. Flandry has died in the mid. So this is actually 4v4. Boyce and, Blackjack and Posey will be capping the mid. And once that's gone, I would expect that the Rev will rotate. Boyce being 2v1 right now. 3v1, in fact. Nubu is here to create some pressure. Nice disengage. Can you show Posey's build? Sure. From what I've seen, he's playing the same exact build as normal. There's nothing different here. Chunzu has gone down. Naru's going to go for the res. That's too much fucking AoE pressure from Posey. Naru's going to fall. He has to. It's a 3v. Wait, how the fuck did... Wait, am I missing something? All right, Rev went down. Never mind. They rallied. Okay, they rallied. So Rev went down. There was a rally onto Chunzu. They've actually stomped both of them out because they knew that Posey was low. And that's really, really good. So Tsukiki actually came in and assassinated Posey. So that's how that happened off the Rev, and then Posey next. So that was a good reset attempt, but that obviously now means it's a 5v3. Tsukiki in downstate, Chunzu now coming back out with Naru, so that's good. They're a good duo together. Neutral in the mid still. Red team still contesting on the blue team close again because they're farming them out of base. This is allowing them to cap at least 1 node on close on the blue team close, but blue team have actually rotated out. So whilst the red team are forcing these team fights, they're not rotating around the map, and they're actually getting cucked by Flandry. Flandry's capped both nodes and is now pushing to get that decap. So now that's double node tick there. It's kind of silly in my opinion. Anyway, Maverick just got Signet Res there. That's really good. That's a reset again, dude. This game is going on like really slowly. Like all these resets. It's incredible. It's anybody's game right now. That's still double node pickup for the blue team. They're just out rotating red, even though red team have had more kills. Blackjack might get picked off here by Naru, especially if +1 by the likes of Tsukiki or Maverick. Maverick and Syndruna having the 1v1 here, keeping the node neutral. They need to get these decaps. I don't think they can afford to be 1v1ing right now. This is really important now as well. Skyhammer super important. Blackjack is down, average Rev is down. So Fly is, with these guys off the map, that definitely means that the Skyhammer would probably be better for them, because then they can just like get a reset across the map. They are outnumbered. There's the +1 from Tsukiki, so the Revenant coming in and pressuring off the Soul Beast. As much as this is a stalemate. There's Syndruna. Okay, so they need to make this happen. This is going back in the favor of the blue team right now. This is such a close game. Holy cow. We have 4 minutes, 56 seconds left on the clock. Red team do still have their close node. B node contested by, this is a 3v3, so you have the Firebrand, Rev, and the Scourge against the Firebrand, Rev, and Scourge. So this is a mirror 3v3. If they push on to the B node, then they risk actually eating a load of damage. They move back on 1 tick left. They push Rev away, and now they chase him off. So Skiki's now re-engaging. That was the push back in by Posey and Blackjack. They do not get the decap, but Syndrina has died, I'm assuming in a 2v2 on the hammer. So now that's the rotation away from Maverick. He does get the neutral there for C-Note. And now this is definitely in the favor of the blue team. Red team need to reset here. Boyce just got +1 by Naru. And now that's a reset for the blue team. So this is actually pretty scary for the red team right now. Any team fight they're trying to have in the mid is going to go down because they're going to have that Skyhammer laser coming straight down on their faces. Wow. And now Flandry can get back off Skyhammer and go and contest the node. Flandry going straight onto C-Node to create a 1v1 as soon as Boyce comes out of base. So again, that neutral, it's just like the stalemate. That was the pad failing for Boyce there. Still, it's not necessarily thrown, okay? Red team can come back for this. They just have to reset. That's 3 players down and bleeding. I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I didn't really expect it to go this way, but at the same time, I don't know how familiar Fly is on Revenant. I know that Fly obviously is a Thief main, and because they have Syndrina, then Syndrana's going to be playing like Thief in this matchup. Are they just handing over or what? Oh. Why was Syndra in the corner? Wow, and they get Blackjack and Posey down. That's GG's. That's it. That's the game. Yeah, Sin's just jumping around, dude. GG's all round. That was a really, really close game. That was a nice comeback there from the blue team. Red team didn't get a kill for, what, 5 minutes? Wow. Firebrand's across the board picking up the top stats there. Wow, GG. Because now they're not going to change. They can't change the current mains, but they can change character, but it's kind of annoying to do. All right, so on red team, you have MM as a joke, aka a sword staff rotational +1 Revenant. Dauntless is playing Spellbreaker. This is with defense discipline, so he's actually gone for the Dagger Shield defensive build. Rune of Earth on Demolishers. Does have Berserker Stance, Shake It Off, and Featherfoot Grace. So he is running triple Stun Break with Berserker Stance. Belzed again is playing rotational +1, so they have a rotational team of Revenants. That's really, really high burst. That's crazy damage. Aeon is on Firebrand support. This is probably going to be used to hold down a node and then rotate into +1 and res where necessary. And then Mystelia is playing Scepter Pistol. This is on Carrying Amulet with Rune of Adventure on Axe Torch, Scepter Pistol. So looking to do a shitload of damage on Dueling Illusions and Mirage. Looking to be probably a 1v1 class. Somehow sustained that engage there from blue team. That's incredible. I mean, that's Mirage in a nutshell. Primal Downstate, obviously that's Maverick, who is playing the Sword Dagger Thief, the core. Skiki playing Sword Staff Rev. Again, rotational +1 with tons of burst. Look at that fucking assassination. God damn. That Revenant is out of the count. Holy shit. Flandry is playing, this is Sage Amulet. This is Staff Axe Torch on Chaos. So this is the sustain build for Mirage. Looking to have those 1v1s. Of course, 1v1ing in the Dauntless right now. Nubu, aka Naru, is playing Scourge. This is on Deadshot with Rune of the Traveler, with Set the Torch and Staff, as a Sorrybring, of course. And then finally, Reliable Hospital, aka Chunzu, playing Firebrand support. I'll quickly show his traits and so on and so forth, just so you guys can see if you want to run this, okay? So that is all the builds. At the moment, we can see that blue team are slightly ahead. However, they did lose Primal Downstate first. So red team would have been good to make momentum happen off of that. Legacy is a very, very high momentum map. So Obviously, running something like Double Revenant would be very, very strong here in this map. Dauntless looking to utilize Jumping Puzzle here or Terrain to avoid focus from both Naru and the Thief and Revenant. However, they were able to keep up with him because they know how to do that Jumping Puzzle. So the Revenant has just respawned, doesn't have Infused Light to use, does get through the gate, and therefore is able to disengage away from the Thief and the Revenant follow-up. Maybe come back through too soon, does have Facet of Light up in 2 seconds, does not want to get locked down here. Can get it off if he wishes to. That's kind of... He secured the usage of it, so obviously he gets to... Wait. Is that... Vibrian, is that you? Vibrian? Veb! What are you doing? All right. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So at the moment, Red Team are looking to come back from this. They do have Waterfall that's currently owned by them, but Flandre is rotating in towards the Waterfall there. They do have somebody attempting to get the decap there. Belzed is answering to this. This is a 3v3. Pierre Elon is down. Mystelia is also down, but looking to self-res. That's pretty interesting. Might get this. How many ticks? We need 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're up, baby. Holy shit, gets the self-res. That's kind of insane. We've seen 2 fucking ridiculous things happen this stream, this match so far. Holy cow. All right, so at the moment, Blue Team do have all 3 nodes. That's now being taken care of by Vibrian's rotation into the far node. Red Team will be able to get their close node ASAP as soon as they get somebody out of the base. Pay attention to the rotations of Dauntless. He's going to be pushing somewhere to get a decap. Does start getting the ticks in mid. Answer to by Naru. Does have the rotation of Aeon now to sustain any condition damage. And there is Sakiki. So Sakiki's going to go straight on to Aeon. Aeon's going to fold with this pressure. That's too many conditions and corruption from Naru. Naru staying on top of him to ensure he doesn't have to use the shade placement. And if Sakiki had actually stayed on this, then Aeon would have been down already, I think. So Naru is hard pressured by that rotation of the double revs. And now they're just looking to peel for Naru. So Flandre staying behind Naru to keep him sustained. That's an immediate engagement follow-up there with Death Strike from Vibrian. He does get Nubu down. However, it looks to me like they're going to re-sustain that. Aeon does get the stomp. And there is no Infused Light just yet. That's the re-sustain there that's come out of Aeon. Holy shit, they might actually get this. There's no teamfight damage on the side of blue. They do get the neutral in mid while that's taking place. Good job, Dauntless. Dauntless now obviously wants to push towards Waterfall after this team fight. This is pretty high pressure. Both Revenants looking to take out Chunzu. That is 1 Revenant down if he gets bursted. This is all about who gets the stomp. And the blue team once again do get stomped out. Primal downstate goes down. Sakiki goes down. Stop finishing them. Stop. Stop. You had 3 players. Stop. Oh, dude, they had Maverick and they had Sakiki down. They straight up finished them. They just bleed them next to each other. You've got 3 players hanging around. That was not the way forward. That was not it, because now you've just got them straight back out. You could have actually pulled up, you know, triple cap maybe? Or at least double cap with 1 node neutral. Ah, man. I mean, that's not that bad. It's okay. I mean, Red Team are still behind, obviously, but that would have honestly secured them with you know, a hell of a lead, at least in terms of just getting their point node back or their point game back. So yeah, so obviously you can see here in the timeline how that would have played out. Right? Because if they'd actually left them bleed out, they wouldn't have died until about here. Red Team probably would have had 3 nodes or double node. They would have had these already, and then they'd be on the upward curve, and Blue Team would still be sort of like stagnant. So it's okay. They did still get double node up, but they do lose Dauntless outside their base. MM is a joke, aka Vibrian has gone down. Aeon's gone down now. All right, they've just wiped it. So now there's a 3 node pickup for Blue Team. And Blue Team have actually immediately dispatched them as well. Flandre won the 1v1 into Mystelia. Actually, no, sorry, I stand corrected. I believe that Primal actually came in for the +1. So yeah, that's triple pickup. And they're looking to meet them outside their base. In fact, they may even try a Lord play. They've actually taken the doors down already, so they can actually push the Lord if they wish to. That would be a very, very quick dispatch as well if they actually all went for it. Flandry hanging around between the two nodes, so hanging around between mid and the far, oh, sorry, their close node, so that red team, you know, if they look to pressure either one. Shunzu actually getting hard pressured. There's the portal to immediately get them out because they saw that happening. Nubu has gone down as well, so obviously that's Naru and Firebrand out. Dauntless does get the neutral there on their close node. And we obviously saw that Flandry placed that portal and started running towards the team fight to dispatch them. Or to disengage them, rather. That's infused light onto the Revenant there. So red team do actually look to be able to get 2 nodes here, but they want to try and get that decap on the blue team close ASAP. If they don't get it, then blue team will stay in their lead. This is their opportunity. This is where they have to actually take the lead and like burn people out. Mycelia goes down to condition. Nobody looking to res. Oh, there's the actual res potential. Aeon is coming in, but Brian should probably have just gone for that res. He probably should have actually invested, but it's too late. Aeon's getting pressured now. And Mycelia has been forced down. That's a 1v1 happening in the mid, so that is Warrior into Flandry on Mirage. Skiki is rezzed by what looks to be Signa res. Yep, there was the Signa res from Chunzu. Tries to get the res on Maverick. Unfortunately, that's the portal away. Nubu trying to keep him alive as well. This is kind of going well for the red team in terms of just how this team fight is playing out, but they need that decap. They need this decap. If they don't get that decap, it's not going to play out well. They're investing a lot of time and effort into this. There it is. There's the neutral. Okay, but now if O'Brien dies, that's a complete reset again because they're going to lose that that numbers advantage. Or at least the equal numbers fight. Okay, so there's resustain potential here. And there's an additional +1 coming in from the Thief. This is now a 4v3. And now red team look to get overblown if they don't manage to get Naru down. They try to get the stomp. That's obviously... You see, the one thing that blue team are doing better is they are immediately getting those reses. They're focusing on that downstate body straight away, right? Red team seem to like play around it and they leave it for Aeon. If everybody in the vicinity jumps on those bodies ASAP, you reset the team fight. Like straight up. Now, Bale Z being down, that's both Revenants down, that's all their burst damage, that's all their potential team fight damage, because they don't have a Scourge. So now that's a complete reset once again for the blue team. They'll win that team fight, they'll get that 1 node, and then they're going to start making their way mid to actually contest into this. If they can get Flandry down, obviously that's really, really important as well. That's 1% on Flandry, gets pulled back by the Mage Bane Tether and eats it. Chunzu does not have Signet of Mercy. Oh, he does! It's actually coming up right now. That came up much quicker than I expected. He may be able to get in and actually... Wait, fuck, they already got the res. I'm an idiot. Flandry did get rallied, or resed rather, by, once again, the blue team making the effort to res. And Maverick going for the decap there. So this is once again in the favor of the blue team. They did get neutrals all across the map after winning that team fight. 2 players still bleeding out. Dauntless is out for the count. Aeon trying to self-res, possibly not the best idea. And I think that's going to be it. I think that might be it. That's got to be triple cap, right? Or at least double cap with neutral. Maverick's there in the middle. They're contesting into the Revenant. Revenant's already used Infused Light, so he's going to go down. Axis of Symmetry. Gets the staff 5 off. And that's the dagger spam. That's dagger 4 spam. Okay, so yeah, there's the... you actually still have Dauntless looking to cap 1 node. Bless him. This game will be over in the next, like, 20 seconds. It's a good game still. I still enjoy watching it. It's still, like, 12 minutes or 11 minutes. Blue team maintained that lead the entire time, though. But red team, you know, they had an opportunity. They had a couple of opportunities where they did actually wipe them out. They did have the numbers advantage. But I don't think they played off of that that momentum that well. What are those red strings on your back? They're the new shoulders. They're currently white, though. Unless you're referencing Aeon. I don't know who you're talking about. Yes, Math, I definitely would. Okay, so Aeon is playing Firebrand support. This is in pairing to Gauntlet. pay attention to the fact that Aeon does not have Signet. So there is no Signet res potential on the red team. Gauntlet is running Deadshot with, what, Rune and Nightmare. So hell of a lot of team fight damage coming out of that Scourge. Pain is still playing Sword Dagger Core Thief, rotational +1. Mystesia is on Scepter Pistol on Carrion. So going to be doing really, really high power damage as well as condition output. Does not have staff, though, for sustainability. So this is a very, very high damage burst build. And then finally you have Brian, who is playing Sword, Staff, rotational Rev. This is on Glint and Herald. And looking to do as much damage as possible in very quick bursts. Blue team have Primal, aka Maverick, who is on Sword Dagger Core. Again, same as Pain Yamashiro is. Reliable Hospital, aka Chunzu, is on Firebrand support. I expect that he does have Signet. He always runs Signet. Synod is running Scourge, so this is Curse Sorry Ping on Balthazar Deadshot, Scepter, Torch, and Staff. Flandry is on Sage Amulet, Staff, Axe, Torch, Mirage. This is a Bruiser 1v1 class. Yep, Sage Amulet on Rune of Adventure. There you go. Chaos Trade Line for the incredible boon uptime. And the actually running lesser Chaos Stance as well. Lesser Chaos Storm. So does get another Chaos Storm off of use of False Oasis. And then finally Skiki on the Sword, Staff, Rev again. So they have one Revenant on each team, one Thief on each team, one Mirage on each team, one Scourge on each team, and one Firebrand on each team. This is a meta mirror. So basically, I actually said that this was pretty much the best comp, although maybe you could substitute out the Mirage for Soul Beast. These guys pretty much have the one support, the one team fight or Scourge, the one duelist, which basically at this point is the Mirage, and then the two rotations, which is the Revenant and the Thief. Okay? All very, very strong in this current meta in terms of like giving you enough sustainability and enough strength behind your rotation. Red team did just lose their Scourge. They did just lose their Revenant. And Aeon has just been forced to be stomped dead on the node, so they're going to have to eliminate immediately. Recap that node mid, still owned by the red team. And actually, you can see that Pain came and +1 into to +1 into Flandry. And as a result, the red team were actually about to pick up double node. It's actually worse if Pain dies here. He does not want to be causing that 5v4, so he needs to make sure that he disengages ASAP. He's actually forcing himself into the far node, but he does have Maverick trying to get in close pursuit. So now that the red team are able to reset off that, they can all regroup. Gauntlet is back out, Pain is back out, sorry, Aeon's back out, and they're able to come and contest mid, which actually does keep them in this game, even though they did lose 2 players. That was obviously a very good +1 that came in from Pain that actually reset that to begin with. He came and made sure that Flandry was dead, and that handed them over this node so they had double node tick for a short while. It looks to me like Flandry's actually coming to push the fight in the mid, and so has Mystesia. So basically they've lost out on any contest over the red team close. Gauntlet has gone down, no Signet res potential. They're actually just leaving them to bleed out. No res coming from anybody. If the red team overcommit for the res, they would all die on the mid node. I definitely think that when the enemy team has a Firebrand, you really need to copy the fact that they have a Signet, or you need to assume they have a Signet, because look at this. You see how important that is? You see how important something like that is? If you have an enemy Firebrand, you can't take that risk that they don't have it. You just can't. So you've got to have it. So I would hope that, you know, Aeon in future, as long as they have a Scourge on their team, you have somebody who essentially relies on you to reset the team fight. Make sure that you run that Signet, because I think as much as you can possibly bring something with Stand Your Ground, it's actually not a sustainable option. I mean, look, you can't even res, because there's not enough res or healing power going out in the res, you know. So this actually would have been like a very close back and forth game, I think, had the red team actually been able to reset the team fights as often as the blue team do. It's not that the red team are getting kills. It's just more so the fact that red team don't have the same reset. They don't have that potential of using the Signet of Mercy. So blue team will take this. They actually had really, really good mirrors on this. They quite easily could have contested this, and they continue to contest them. They're capping a node. They're keeping themselves in it. Pain obviously trying to keep that going for as long as possible. But the thing is that there's no reset. So, once blue team do get that lead, and that they do win that team fight, they do get that Scourge down, they do get that Firebrand down, or whoever they get down, there is no reset. So, is Reliable Hostile Naru? No, it's Chunzu. Akujin. But obviously, this was literally point and point from the beginning. They were like, what, 1 or 2 points ahead? Or 1 or 2 points apart, rather, for like 3 minutes. And ever since, the blue team have been farming them. They've been able to take a player out, and then they just run with it. And again, no reset, no signet. So Pain obviously trying to keep the minute by getting as many decaps as possible. He might actually steal that. There we go, does get it. And then rotates back to head towards the blue team close and immediately get that decap. He is trying to keep his team in this. If he can keep that, if he can make that happen, that's really important. You can see the red team are looking to spike out on a Chunzu or make as much happen on Chunzu as possible, because if they do get somebody down, Chunzu is the one that's actually going to be getting that res on that Signet Mercy. So they need to target him out immediately from that team fight. However, if the blue team is smart, they'll group over Chunzu and they'll keep him alive. They'll just res him. 4 people rezzing you or 3 people rezzing you simultaneously is very, very strong. They're actually pushing for the Lord play. They've got 300 points. They've got enough people there. They've got Skiki. They've got the Thief. They've got the Scourge. This will be just a complete steal. And one thing to note is that Legacy is actually a very, very high momentum map. Very, very high momentum map. So if you do get ahead, you will almost keep that. It's very, very hard to lose that momentum. You can win an entire game off of early play. Okay, they got the stun on the Lord, so they don't let him heal. Primal Downstate was going for the stomp, does lose it. Red team again have no signet in order to actually be the preventative on that downstate body, and they did get the stomp overall, so there we go, and that's the game. Game is over, so we do actually see a finish with a Lord play. And, I genuinely believe, right? I genuinely believe that this comp could actually answer to this comp. It's a mirror matchup, okay? It's an absolute mirror matchup. That was back and forth for 3 minutes, and the only thing that was the difference between the red team and the blue team was that the blue team reset like 2 team fights, right? So one where the red team were coming back, they had 2 down, they had 2 red team members down. 2 blue team members down. And they were looking to get that momentum. All it took was Chunzu just to walk in with his fucking hand in the air with a little symbol above his head, get that res off, and the red team just, from that point on, had 1 person dead all the time. Like, how... You see how important that one skill is? Just one ability. So considering there's no release notes, that makes me think that there isn't anything that they're going to change. Like, nothing this week is going to get changed. That's so weird. Okay, so Shen is playing Chronomancer. So this is actually the Freya. This is on Inspiration, Chaos, Chrono on Scepter, Shield, Staff with Demolishers and Rune of Radiance. It's actually acting as a duelist on the side node. ASMR is playing Firebrand support with Signet of Mercy. This is impairing to Synod, who is on Deadshot, Balthazar with Staff, Scepter Torch on Cursor ping Scourge. Tramadex playing the Revenant here, so Sword, Staff, rotational +1. Tons of unblockable damage and high burst output. And then finally you have Vans, who is playing what looks to be meta Spellbreaker, or the previous meta, where he's running Defense Discipline. So he's actually running the Sustain build instead of Trama's build. So this is Dagger Shield with Greatsword on Rune of Lissa with Demolishers. And the utilities that he's running actually give him triple stun break. So 2 Shake It Off charges, 1 Featherfoot Grace, and then he's running Berserker Stance for some anti-condition output. Blue team have Tedious Hero, who is playing Druid. So this is a node sustained bunker. This looks to be on, like, say, someone like Mendes. Yeah, Mendes Amulet with Rune of Earth. He does have Longbow for extra damage potential, but he has Sword Warhorn for sustainability. Larry P is playing his, what I'm assuming is his Sword Shield build. This is, again, a duelist, looking to have those 1vx engagements. As you can see, Sword Shield runs with the elixirs as well on inventions. So he has Demolishes, Rune of Leadership, Alchemy, Inventions, and Hollow. Luana is on Sage Amulet, Staff Axe, Torch. I'm assuming Chaos, yet Chaos with Dueling. Jailer is playing what looks to be Trammel War build, so this is with the Strength trait line instead of Defense with Discipline. And this is on Dagger Shield, Great Sword, Demolishes, Rune of Holbrack. And you can see his utilities are different. He has the Signet of Stamina for extra endurance regeneration. He has Bull's Charge for CC lockdown, and still takes Shake It Off for condition removal. Finally, you have I Am the Real Me, who is on Carry an Amulet, Staff, Axe, Torch, probably. Yep, Staff, Axe, Torch, with Rune of Adventure on Illusions and Dueling. So we can see that actually the blue team have less rotational damage than the red team, simply because the Mirage is a more sustainable condition damage. They have triple Duelist or Node Sustain. So it's pretty much about like the Mirages rotating. The red team have a better chance of doing this with Tramadex with the use of his Death Strike and Phase Traversal. And he'll be making a lot more happen across the map. They also have Firebrand and Scourge that can maintain mid sustain really, really well and effectively, as long as they can kite on these pillars here. So they're keeping 3 players of the blue team here right now whilst they hard pressure the Scourge. And this will bring pressure to side nodes. Look at the sustainability. It's actually insane. So yeah, Revenant currently in a 1v1 against the Warrior. Not sure that's worthwhile for Tramadex. He probably should have gone and +1'd into Luana here. So Vans into Luana and created that 2v1. Keeping this node neutral, I'm not sure is actually a beneficial thing. The longer that Synod sits there in that 2v3. That was the reset there on Signet of Mercy, gets the cast on the Synod, and they reset some more. So they held that as a 2v3 for quite a while. There's the rotation of the Mirage that comes in and caps the node. Sorry, of the Chronomancer, rather. So that actually paid off very, very well for the red team, even though the blue team are ahead by, 36 points. They are capping their close node, and it looks to me like Tramadex actually won in advance. Into Jailer. So Tramadex actually won the 1v1 into the Warrior. Well played. Tramadex is actually a Warrior main, so I'm not really surprised that he did that. And it looks like Tramadex just pulled out the fucking BM with the gizmo, you motherfucker. So now you can see the blue team are actually playing 3 players into the mid to contest into the Firebrand and Scourge once more. This is going to force the Firebrand and Scourge away from this node, probably, in good time. That's a lot of condition output that Synod managed to put onto both the Druid and the Mirage, and they're forcing them to disengage away from the node. Luana looking to come and get that decap, but Van's not giving that over. Does prevent that decap as quickly as possible. Be careful. Luana blinks back onto the node, gets that last tick, and then is now straight out once more. If I was Vans, I would have stayed AFK on the node instead of trying to pressure away Luana with tons of disengage. So Tramadex overcommit here, it looks like. I just got a fucking... Hang on. I'm distracted. I just got an email from US. From, like, US Postal Service. What? Okay, it's just, it's junk. Motherfuckers. Thank God I opened it on my phone. Good casting. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry. It's because it coincided with something else. Obviously, my Kingdom Hearts 3 not being delivered today. The fact that actually said failed to deliver, and it's on the same day as the Kingdom Hearts thing, that is a well-thought-out junk scam, dude. That is somebody that has done that, or a group of people that have thought that they would do that because probably Kingdom Hearts has not been delivered to a bunch of people. And people are like going to open that and think, wait, this could be my Kingdom Hearts delivery thing. And they'll log into it. I don't have a USPS account, so it doesn't actually do anything to me, but still, fuck that. Okay, so red team did manage to maintain ownership of the mid again because of the Firebrand and the Scourge that have been looking after it. Luana being pressured away will be left to bleed. Off node, was not able to remove the Torment damage there from Synod. You can see that Larry P is maintaining the 1v1 into Vans and holding that node in his favor. Once more, Larry P's build, for those that haven't seen it, it is more so reliant, I think, on the enemy killing themselves because it's very sustainable, but when they do hit, they have a ton of retaliation uptime. And then Vans would eventually kill himself with the damage that he attempts to do into Larry. As you can see, he has like 24 seconds of retaliation right now. And blocks. So, you can see at the moment the blue team are the only team on the map with points coming in right now. That's because of Larry. He's about to be +1 by Tramadex. He's going to kite away or at least straight up disengage. That was the Toss Elixir S disengage. Leaves out with Sword 3. And now that node has been neutralized. However, mid was picked up by the rotation there of Luana, I do believe. Oh no, it was Ferios. So Ferios actually rotated in mid, got the full cap, and now is back to create a +1 into Larry. So now there's a 2v2. Tramadex gets instantly interrupted with the diversion there. This is an opportunity for the blue team to come back. And what's happening on the blue team close? So you see the Firebrand and Scourge contesting into the Spellbreaker, the Mirage, and the Druid. So the Druid will provide plenty of condition removal for both Luana and Jailer, and I don't think that the Firebrand will be able to sustain for much longer. He's slowly going through his F3 tomes, which is applying a lot of Aegis and protection, and now he will be forced to switch over to Tome of Justice, I suppose. So he's back out to his flat weapon set. Tries to get something out from the F1, but he's actually lost a lot of his sustain. So Synod's going to drop here. No Signet of Mercy. Not able to resustain. He gets the stomp on Synod, and there we go. There's the reset on a Jailer. Blue team will be able to pick up this close node. But sadly, it looks like Larry was forced away from the node here and had to give it up. And this is... actually, he died. So he was not able to contest far any longer. You have the 1v1 taking place in mid. This is the Chronomancer into both the Holosmith and the Mirage. Now that was the +1 there from Larry's spawn. Shen abusing terrain here to kite away. Red team still holding that lead. You want to see the traits on the Chrono? Shen is a Demolisher with Radiance on Inspiration Chaos. Okay. Inspiration, Phantasmal Disenchanter, and Blink with Signet of Ether. So just to confirm, I think he is running the trait that grants you Distortion. Yeah. So Blood Inscriptions, he gets the Distortion on both uses of these skills. So he gets random boons like granted to him passively every 10 seconds. But when he uses that button, he gets Distortion. Similarly, when he heals himself, he gets Distortion and Condition Immunity. It's pretty fucking ridiculous. So, red team now owning both side nodes. Van's doing a good job at actually sustaining this 1v2, not moving off the node. He is running the defensive build, remember, so he does have the defensive trait line. He's not running the Trauma build. He's just sustained that as long as possible, been forced for the disengage, and now Larry has managed to get that neutral. Vans will move back onto the node now to contest that 1v1. In the mid node, we do have a 2v2, 3v3 taking place, actually. Synod eating a lot of pressure from the Rampage. Firebrand goes down simultaneously to that burst. And now Tramadex is going to be forced to disengage away, possibly towards where he knows he might have some sustainability where Vans is. So Tramadex comes in to create a quick 2v1. If they can put Larry P on his ass, then it won't matter with these guys rotating in because it'll be a flat 2v2. Unfortunately, Larry P has not been pressured away. I think Larry still has Elixir S. He actually doesn't have Elixir S defensive, so actually he would have gone down there with enough pressure. They turn that back with the addition of the Mirage. Now, Tramadex is getting hard pressured by Larry. Blue team still owning mid, looking to come back. They still have contest over this node. Van's one tick off from picking this up, and at the moment you can see there's a 1v1 taking place between the Chronomancer and the Mirage. So this is actually, these are both like high-level players. This is a rating mirror, to be honest. One is a Chronomancer, one is a Mirage. So Vans did actually manage to cap that node, so obviously that keeps both teams ticking simultaneously. Luana might go down. I think Luana will run out of kit before Lefrair does. Lefrair still has one distortion coming up, and actually he's going to have a second distortion. Larry P is now traded with Luana because Luana's obviously run out of kit. So they trade places. Larry is now the contest into the Chronomancer. And now there's a 3v1 on a Jailer to ensure that they maintain ownership of this node. Mirage has gone down as well, so Farios is down to Synod's rotation. They're looking to just keep ownership of this node. As long as they keep one node ticking, that will continue their lead. I think that Red Team actually have more kills across the game as well in the timeline. So Red Team are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blue Team are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, actually it's about equal. I'm quite surprised. In terms of kills, they're actually quite equal. So I would say the majority of the lead that's actually been taken by the Red Team has been simply because of the pressure of the Firebrand and the Scourge in mid and actually creating those outnumbered fights. Jailer has gone down here off node as well, getting the res there from Luana. Synod tried to get the interrupt by spamming conditions onto both of those players, force the Signet of Stamina away from Jailer. He's probably going to kill him here. Rampages to get some stab, hopes he can turn it back on a Synod. Synod dodges the Rampage 5, uses Signet to gain even more resistance, and gets feared by Synod. So well played there by Synod. They do not have any quick method of res here. They do have Tedious Hero, though. Does Tedious Hero actually run the trait? Wait, where is it? Which trait is it? Is it Nature Magic? Yes! So they do have the Allies' Aid. So they increase their revive speed. So that's actually where they're getting their extra sustain from without running that Firebrand. That's interesting. So they turn that straight back onto the Firebrand and the Scourge whilst they commit onto Jailer. So this is an opportunity for the blue team to come back from this. They need to get the decap on this node. They need Vans to be pressured away so they can get neutral. And they need to pick up a node. They've actually, even though the red team lost both the Firebrand and the Scourge, red team still come out on top of this with double node ownership. That's crazy. That's actually showcasing that the blue team don't have enough map pressure to actually push them away from nodes. I said this at the beginning, that the blue team don't have much damage. They don't have the rotational damage that Tramadex brings on this Revenant. Revenant can just obviously, teleport between walls, can go from one node to another very, very effectively. In this case, they just have sustain, 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 and then bruiser. Condition bruiser. And to be honest, most of the pressure that's brought out by both of these Mirages can actually be healed by the Firebrand. So the Firebrand is actually very, very integral to the winning of the red team right now. 44 seconds left on the clock. Red team would need to lose all 3 nodes right now, get 3 capped, and die all simultaneously for the blue team to win this. I'm pretty sure that the blue team can't really come back from this. Signa Mercy res on the Vans. Actually failed. He misplaced it. Who is this? Oh, that's Zan. This is Xananan. Xananananan. I didn't even realize. So they got the Frere, they got Zan, they got Tramadex, they got Synod, and they got Vans. This is some old school fucking shit, dude. 9 seconds left on the clock. Red team are just trolling, dude. They know that they can't lose this game. GG, dudes. Wow. It's a little bit of BM there, Zan. I mean, they don't have, the Scourge for the team fight. But the Revenant and the... Let me just turn that off. They might... The Revenant and the Thief might bring some rotational advantage, but I can't immediately see that. I don't want to, start off casting this until I know for a fact it's going to be close. I don't have faith at this point. Syndra applies Viewer Siphon on you. It's very effective. He's streaming right now, isn't he? Yeah, bless him. Short rant later about what changes I want. Don't put that on YouTube, my dude. Be careful. You'll get some hatred. So Velia does have Signet Mercy. Does. Gets interrupted on the Signet? No, they actually get him. Holy shit. Red team capped the mid. They've capped their close. There's no contest. The 1v1. Izuki is running strength, whereas Vans is on the defensive trait line. Wait. Izuki is actually playing Mace. He's playing Mace. So that's obviously for like CC potential, but Jesus. I think this is really interesting. Oh, Pog! He actually won in advance! Hell yeah, dude. Well played. Well fucking played, Izuki. Clean, dude. Clean as fuck. Okay, so Kiki is currently kiting Charmadex away. Good use of no poor spot. Alright, I will cast this one properly. Okay, they've actually held like a relatively short lead for the last 2 minutes, so I'll quickly run through what they've got. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. We've already seen what Izuki is running. So Casual Thief is on Rifle DP, Deadeye rotational +1. Evelia is on Firebrand support with Signet Mercy, not sustaining anybody in particular. Skiki is on Sword Staff Revenant rotational +1. Nerf Soul Beast is on still running Doyak Moa, but this is obviously the Axe Axel Warhorn duelist build. Red team, we've already seen them, but Shen, aka Lefrere, is still playing Chronomancer with Inspiration Chaos on Demolisher's Rune of Radiance on Scepter Shield Staff. They have a Firebrand support, which is Xananan, who is running Signet Mercy as well. Tramadex on the Sword Staff Rev. Synod, who is playing Scourge. This is on Curse of Soriping with Deadshot and Rune of Balthazar with Scepter Torch and Staff. And then finally Vans, who is playing his defensive build with Dagger Shield, Great Sword, Demolisher's Rune of Lissa on Defense Discipline and Spellbreak. Running the relatively old style build, okay? So, blue team actually taking the lead here off of that one team fight that they had in the mid there, where they killed both the Scourge and the Firebrand. And actually, again, because Izuki actually won the 1v1 into Vans actually having died twice now since the start of the game. I'm assuming... Wait, oh, he's just finished... Okay, for some reason I thought he still had to cap that. He was just, like, securing it. Unless Vans somehow got rezzed while I was checking the mid, I didn't actually confirm that he actually died. There's no way that I can actually confirm that. I think he did just come out of base and go straight towards the node, which was sustained by Izuki. Yep, Izuki does have Stomp, he does have Bull's Charge, and he's running Mace. So he has crazy CC output. And actually, I think that's kind of what stumped Vans a little bit, because Vans probably wasn't expecting that level of CC. But blue team have lost 3 players here in quick succession. However, they did secure stillness. They do still have 1 node ticking. However, nobody on blue team seems to want to keep that node ticking with their stillness. That would have been a huge lead for them. They would have probably finished this with about 240, 250. And now red team are looking to get a triple crap across the board. Did I say triple crap? Triple cap across the board. So, yeah, you can see that now Nerf Soul Beast is coming in to get the decap into Temple. Altar was picked up by Lefrere, and now mid was obviously capped by Synod and Vans. So Izuki has gone down in the 2v1 there in mid. He's going to be left to bleed out. Red team now ticking with the double node, and the blue team will be picking up the altar point, I suppose. Sorry, the temple point. I think that Casual Thief probably could have done more in terms of rotating to get decaps. I think that altar's been open for quite a while. He is obviously just decapping mid right now. He shouldn't really pick this fight. I think he just wants to stop points at the point gain as is right now. Again, Firebrand and the Chronomancer in the mid there that you can see with the Spellbreaker and the Firebrand. So actually, that's a 3v. Holy shit, Synod's there in low health. He'll get resustained by the Firebrand, no problem. Doing tons of damage onto these 2 players. Gets the knockdown on Avelia. And you see, one thing that Synod does really well is he applies a lot of Torment onto players. And then he sits on them and spams Fear. So then whilst they're running, they're actually damaging themselves. And unless they have a stun break, they will take a shitload of Torment damage. What's up, Dank? Is it a jacket you're wearing? Yes. I'm wearing a fucking hooded jacket, dude. It's cold. It is cold. So, yeah, red team have actually managed to maintain double node ownership for quite a while. Izuki eating a lot of condition damage here as well. He's going to die. No. Uses the Signet for the resistance uptime, paired with Shield 5. He does have full counter coming up. Gets the full counter probe, walks straight back into the condition output, and has killed himself as a result. No, Velia comes in and re-sustains this fucking ridiculous fight, and now Izuki needs to get the fuck out. Use Greatsword 5 and just dipset, dude. Oh, I don't think he meant to do that. Did he? Gets the CC output on the Vans. This is so interesting. Holy shit, the CC chain on the Vans. So the rotation there of Tramadex has picked up their close node, and they still have the neutral in the mid. Skiki has been picked up by Lefrere. And now we see Tranquility and Stillness coming into play. We do have the blue team looking to get Tranquility ASAP. And Casual Thief, aka... it's just Casual. He is looking to get Stillness as well. So blue team do pick up Tranquility. They now need to look after their nodes hard. So Tramadex, sorry, not Tramadex. Vans is now being contested by Sakiki in order to maintain ownership of that node. Sakiki can do a pretty good job at actually maintaining this node against Vans as long as he plays his blocks and evades well. He can even win this matchup. There's the rotation of Tramadex because he knows that Skiki is pressuring Vans. Skiki forced away from the node, and actually neither of them go immediately for the decap, but then you go Tramadex has gone back to the node to secure that neutral. And obviously the rotation there of Lefrere has forced the neutral on the node in mid. So at the moment, red team are looking to be playing this huge team fight off node. Blue team, the only team on the map at the moment with anything ticking, and Stillness is still currently in play. They've actually given up on that shit. They're actually interrupting it constantly with the use of the Deadeye. Using Dagger Storm to hard pressure the Scourge there. They can actually kill both of them here. I don't believe... Get the interrupt! No! There's a Signet Mercy Res. Synod actually disengages straight with the Sand Swell, followed by Zan. Oh my god. Okay, and by the way, Izuki did manage to pressure away on Altar. So because of Van's death, that now means that blue team have double node tick. They have to be careful with the Stillness right now. So they did actually pick that up with the rotation there of just Casual, this Deadeye. He misses the Binding Shadow onto Tramadex, and Tramadex gets straight out there to get that decap. Because at the moment, the blue team are picking up 4 points a second, or 4 points a tick. It's huge. And blue team are literally 1 tick away from getting this mid node decapped. Zan getting hard pressured. He's going to be forced away from the node. It's way too much. He can't sustain this, surely. How is he doing this? Really good CC usage of Shield 5. And there we go. He's been knocked out. He's going to be left to bleed out. And the blue team do get that reset in mid. However, in this time, because of that overcommittal, the red team have picked up both side nodes. Van's actually going back to Altar to cap that. And the red team close was picked up as well. I'm not sure who by. I'm going to think that it was Tramadex, because he's obviously been in rotation and he's been doing that for quite a while. So at the minute, we see Synod and Tramadex contesting into the Soul Beast. This is a pretty good pairing into a Soul Beast. You punish them with both High Burst and Condition Output simultaneously, and they can't... They kind of have to pick between their Endurance and... fucking what's it called? Resistance at the same time. Van sustaining into Skiki at the moment on the far node. Skiki would actually win this 1v1 because Vans is running the defensive cooldown. Sorry, defensive trait line, rather. Avilia going for the Stillness once more. Vans won't be able to interrupt that. Tramadex here to answer to it, but unfortunately it still gets picked up by the blue team. However, blue team do not have any nodes ticking at this current point, so they don't actually get much from the Stillness pickup. Soul Beast is contesting into Revenant, Scourge, and Firebrand. This is now Firebrand and Soul Beast for the blue team. Izuki looking to contest into Lefrere with the +1 there from Skiki. This should be easy for them. They should be able to CC him out. There we go. And now Vans is the next issue. Izuki dodges the Rampage 4. Now he's all about finishing off the Chronomancer, which he does do so. Blue team committing a 4v2. Tramadex has used Infused Light, so there's his sustainability gone. At the moment, we do see Casual Thief rotating to Altar to pick that node up, so they do have a node ticking in their favor. And they probably want to prevent Far ASAP, because they have already lost the team fight. So whatever, blue team actually do right now is not going to be good for them, because they can't really win 5v3. So it's you know, they're kind of looking to play like desperation measures, which is why I would have expected the Thief to go in and get that decap on Far. Try to slow the game down a little bit. The Thief being here in contest to Lefrere was never really going to pay off anyway. He was never going to win that 1v1. And to be honest, right now it's too late for them to actually go and get the decap on Far because they're going to be followed by somebody else. So blue team have literally just lost 3 of their players. Casual Thief going for that decap now, but midpoint still available. And we do have Tranquility coming up in approximately 50 seconds. Red team going to pick up the triple cap here. Possibly. Never mind. You can see that Just Casual is getting that decap right now. And Izuki was coming here to try and contest into the Scourge and Firebrand to get that mid decap. Nerve Sobeys obviously dying to the numbers disadvantage there. And now a big fight off team. Off node. No decap in mid because Zan is still contesting into Vans. Sorry, into Izuki. Traumatics hard pressured by the Revenant. Vans possibly able to resustain. There we go. They get the Res of Lefrere as well. But now it's a 3v3 with the sustainability of Avilia from the blue team. If blue don't get this these decaps ASAP, the game is over. They do have Tranquility coming up in 15 seconds, but the game will be literally just ending as they start channeling it, unless they've got to not be interrupted at all. And this is it. And they get a kill. There's no way. And the game's over. That's it, dudes. GG, well played. That game was a lot closer than I anticipated it to be. I genuinely thought that this was going to be well and truly one-sided, and it was just as close as the semi-final. Fun shit, dude. Really fun shit.